Well, I recently met this guy online, and he was so excited to meet me that he got into his truck and drove all the way from California to Northwest Arkansas just to meet me. That's actually not what happened at all. This is, however, a video about what did actually happen. But before we get to that, I feel I need to put in a little disclaimer. So I don't normally drink caffeinated beverages. And apparently when I do, I have very little self-control. And when you add to that the fact that I'm hanging out with three guys who are all about Type 3s, and we're just like hanging out and talking cars and like plenty of access to refillable soda, it's a different side of my personality, and I think that's being generous to me. Anyway, I'm just here grabbing some gas so that I can make it a whole lot further than I would normally have to drive to go to a Wright's barbecue, but it's for kind of a cool reason. All right, so here's two guys that I met at a local, very, very small VW show. And I was just reminded, it was apparently 2 years ago. I thought it was 1 year ago. I came prepared to say 1 year ago. You guys corrected me. Met you guys 2 years ago at this cool show. And then at some point, you know, because there's not a lot of Type 3 content on YouTube, I find this guy, right? And I think I first commented on one of your videos, and then maybe you commented on one of mine. And then like you reached out to me, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's super recent. So basically, long story short is I initially had planned a long trip out of the country, and things kind of fell apart, and last minute kind of decided to plan something to kind of just get out and not just sit at home. So I hit up this guy and I hit up you, and everybody just kind of got together and kind of worked out.
And so it's crazy because like, how would I have even known that you knew this guy? And you're like, hey, if I happen to be driving through where you are, maybe I'll stop in and see you. And I'm like, well, I'm in Northwest Arkansas. You're like, I'm already going there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
Exactly. And basically it just worked out because I didn't know you guys knew each other at all.
Yeah.
I contacted you, I contacted him separately. And
it's fairly small community here of VW people. It's not like Los Angeles, man.
Yeah.
So, okay, so real quick, give me your online presence stuff.
All right, so I'm Jeremy. Instagram is Docdocil. I have a YouTube channel. You can just look up Jeremy Squareback Type 3.
And I'll link it too, of course.
Yep. Yeah, so I'm on there and I kind of just do like tutorials or kind of DIYs, and I try to do
day in the life of.
Exactly, the life of, exactly.
Yeah.
Kind of do as much as I can on my own. Yeah, just a learning process as we go.
Very cool. So yeah, like I said, I'll link your stuff for sure. Okay, and then tell me you guys, like, I don't even know if Steven's gonna have anything, but we'll find out in a second. We'll start with you. Jason.
So Jason Quill.
AKA
Tinkering Guy.
Tinkering Guy.
So Tinkering_Guy on Instagram, and then Tinkering Guy on YouTube. Everywhere there's a red mohawk, it's probably me. I don't have a lot of YouTube content now, but I'm literally starting to like jump on that.
Okay.
But I also do a lot of I have another social media leg because I'm also a children's book author, so that's where I've been putting all my effort lately.
Okay.
So if you want to look up Norbert the Giraffe, follow Norbert. That's where I've been for a while. But I do have a lot of content I'm coming up with. I'm also a Type 3 guy, just like these guys.
Heck yeah.
This guy. So
got a couple Type 3s here. All right. Now, what about you, Steven? You just want to stay Steven, or you want to?
So Steven Brannon on Instagram. I'm Ozark Cycle Works.
Okay.
And also Lobo Rojo is my F-150 stuff.
Okay, cool. And I'll make sure to get everything from you guys so I can link it in the video. But so here we are. We're going to be looking at Huey in a minute here. But like, since this is my video of the videos, we're going to look at my car first, right? Guys, have at it, dude. Just like help yourself, grab stuff. Do you like my?
I like your pencil.
Super custom, dude. When the shaft is broken, by the way, your contribution is gonna take care of that little problem. Yes.
Okay, nice.
And yeah, there'll be a video on that at some point.
I see you have the original SB12 right here.
Yep.
The headlight trim, but not on this side. What happened?
Yeah, so, dude. Previous owner, I don't know, man. Ask me, but. You know what's funny though? Okay, look at that driver headlight. Okay, it looks okay for the most part. That one over there looks a little weird. Dude, it was absolutely rusted solid. And so I just like scuffed it up with some sandpaper and threw some silver paint in there just to get by, man.
It works.
It works. It's bad, but it works.
Question: how do you open the trunk on a notch? Because on my hatch,
I think it's on the door jam.
Is it
It's
in the door? Oh,
it's right under here. Boom. So somebody help yourself.
Go ahead, Steven. Because I've always wanted to know. Because my car, you just open it up from the back.
Oh wait, you're
Yeah, the front
That's
trunk,
the
right?
front.
So,
How do
okay,
you
yes,
get
the
that?
rear trunk would
That's
be
the one,
here,
yeah. See, I
but
didn't know
it's that doesn't even work,
Oh, okay.
dude. You know,
But that's how you do
don't
it.
even get me started on that, man. It was working, and then it didn't.
Can I see the engine?
this doesn't lock.
Yeah, dude, do it.
This-
Yeah, it doesn't right
So it
now.
just bounces around when you try.
It really doesn't. It stays down, yeah. Yeah, the springs hold it in place real good.
Oh, so beautiful.
So I mean, I gotta admit, like, I am a little embarrassed about that, but, you know, it's what I had. I didn't have to buy a part.
Adds horsepower.
That's right. It does, totally.
Blue adds horsepower.
It does. And
So
silicone,
you're-
I mean, it's
you're
just
going
better.
Original style pump. See, I went
So
electric.
actually, that dude right there is a oh God, who makes all the pumps, man? It's an aftermarket pump.
Oh, okay.
This is a rebuild.
It is.
One too.
It's rebuildable though.
Delphi. It's a Delphi
Oh,
pump.
okay, yeah,
Delphi's been doing pumps for years and years, so I've been happy so far.
Nice.
And you have the custom zip tie.
Oh yeah, dude. Previous owner had that on there.
See, my car came without that, so I had to like figure that out myself.
I do have belly bands though. They just need a little love. I got them from way out the other day.
I
Along
do
with-
want to point out. I remember you lost some screws on your.
Yes, I did. And when we get to the front trunk, there's a little exciting news on that front. Yeah,
The original carbs.
they are. Yeah, 32 PDSITs. I have a second pair I'm going to rebuild offline.
Nice.
And
So I went through like 3 or 4 sets to find a good one.
so you know what the only thing that sucks is when it gets hot, they loosen up a little bit, and then my idle is low, and I get the green light at the stoplights, and I got to, you know,
The gas.
what do you,
My car's the opposite.
feather.
When it gets hot, my throttle goes high, and it runs way like I almost
Yeah.
jumped the block. I'm like, ah.
Ugh.
The spring.
It actually runs pretty good. What's that?
The springs for the.
That's a cool.
Yeah, because I've never seen that actually.
Yeah.
I've never seen the notch inside except his. I've done tons of photos, never seen one like.
So
Well, and the nice thing is you can see all the insides because I don't have door cards, I don't have carpet. You can just see it all, man.
Gutted, right?
Yeah, it's a great way to like you can start from scratch.
Yeah, it's like a.
Oh yeah, just help
perfect
yourself
state
there.
of restoration.
Now that door is bad, but yeah, and those are bad.
Actually, the heater changers you were
You said
telling
you
us
have
about, yeah.
replacements, right?
I do, and so what I was thinking the other day is I might just like crudely fix that, just like in the interim, you know, before I go full body off one day, which will be down the road.
Welding a patch along with your day.
Exactly.
It's not a hard bend.
I like your,
Yeah.
your pedal.
Oh, dude, let me tell you, that
Yeah.
pistol wheel, I love it. It's got a steep learning curve, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is the best.
So it just rolls on your foot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
it's-
people on bugs that do skateboard moves.
I've seen skateboarders.
Yeah, I used to have a skateboard way back in the day, but the nice thing about the pistol wheel is it is a precision instrument. It's not a thin piece of, oh, I shouldn't have said that. I'm going to bleep that out. That just flops around, man. It's like really nice.
You have the. In good condition.
They're not bad. This one needs love. It's got this custom seat cover here.
It's less heat on that one though.
It actually is a high back seat that had the top ripped off,
okay.
and it's all jacked up, but
I was gonna say.
and your year is 64, right?
64.
So is this still 12 volt? I mean.
It is 12 volt. He converted it 12 volt. There's not that many things you need to do to convert it to 12 volt, so.
you get if you have a 6-volt transmission and a 12-volt engine, you get it running, but back a little bit, and as you tighten the bolts while it's running, it self-clearances.
Yeah. You
I like that self-clearancing. Yes. So, okay, so Jeremy, you mentioned the choke screws that I was missing. So when I was out at Way Out Salvage, he hooked me up with not only screws, but also the spacers. And here's what's cool about that, dude. One of my viewers, which just sounds weird for me to say, said, hey, do those have those spacers that you've got on the other VW carbs? And I was like, I don't know. And so, yeah, dude, Derek hooked me up with the nylon bushings. Oh, so here's another kind of funny thing, dude. Like if you look inside, you're like, oh, well, that's, you know, kind of clean. There's one reason for that, and that's because I went through a major rainstorm yesterday.
No.
And so it, like afterward, I had to pull the rear seat out and sop up all the water in the battery tray and all the stuff. So it looks a little cleaner than it normally would, because just like your story, dude, the dust just comes in like crazy when I drive down dirt roads.
Well, yours doesn't scoop it though. That's
No,
okay.
it doesn't actually
Your
scoop
floor
it.
pans are-
Oh, I got a good story about that though. You see the hole down by the passenger footwell down there?
Yeah.
So my son and I are driving along right after a rain, and we're coming down this dirt road, and there's a bunch of water coming across the road, and I didn't hit it very fast, but somehow the water came up through that hole and got him directly in the face. I swear to God, dude.
Oh.
So yeah, that's it, man, in all its glory.
So you're focusing on making it run great.
Yeah, all the cheap and free stuff I can do.
Are you ever planning to like move on like body like?
Yeah, so I've got like I've got a hammer and a dolly, and I'm just taking it very slowly because, well, you know, fenders are not so easy to come by, right? And so when I get to the point where I'm doing those, I don't want to mess them up beyond repair or whatever, you know, which isn't probably really a thing, but for me it probably is.
And I'm sure it's a lot harder to find the notch rear fender.
Exactly.
There's no fins right here.
Exactly. They're different than the fastback and the squareback, so they're hard to come by. Oh, don't even talk about the late model.
Yeah.
The catfish ones.
I know it's not a very popular opinion to have.
So do you know if these are original panels at all, or
So,
Frankenstein?
yeah, my belief is that basically all the body is you know, the rear part of the body is, but obviously the front clip is from a whole different car because I don't have the Mickey Mouse holes and the fenders. And they actually did a really good job grafting that in. And then of course the rear trunk lid is from something else, but the rest of it is, yeah, one thing.
So you have yellow and blue and
It's so awful, dude.
it's its own livery.
The thing, so that's kind of my thing. Like, I think, okay, when I try my hand at paint first, that'll probably be it. Yeah, because you know, if I screw it up, it won't be any worse than it is now.
You can practice on my car.
I will do that.
Not that car.
No, not that car.
My notch.
Not that car.
Notchback,
Yes.
Yeah, his notchback, which is, might I say, 400 more pieces than this one.
Yeah, mine's scattered
It takes over a
across,
whole entire garage.
my notchback is scattered across 2 states and 4 counties.
And it is a 64 notchback. So once Steven gets the notchback on the road, we're going to be notchback brothers. That's probably when I'll do the body off. Is right, you know, right when you get yours on the road.
So then we
Yeah.
take it- But I saw him driving.
And you're waving at them, and they're like, "Who are you?"
You're like,
Honestly, I'm just a bit bummed that Jeremy lives so far. He's a really cool dude. He's on this epic Route 66 adventure. And it's kind of cool, man. After he swooped through here and hung out with us for a while, we had a little message group going, the 4 of us, and he allowed the rest of us to just sort of live vicariously through him on the rest of his journey, which was really, really cool, man. It honestly was something that I kind of envied that he was able to do. So. Well, I learned this morning that my buddy Steven works like almost literally right around the corner from my house where I work, and also learned that he had a gift that Jeremy had brought to me. Jeremy Docdocil, I think I said that right. And I guess, you know, like I forgot things, Jeremy forgot things. Jeremy forgot to hand out the gifts, and but he left with Steven because Steven stayed later than I did. And so I just went and picked this up and handed him a bag of tomatoes that I had intended to share with the whole group last night, which, you know, failed miserably. You know, that's pretty typical for me. So heading back to, you know, go do more work, but kind of a neat little just sort of interlude in the day. All right, here we go again. Here comes the magic. Be back on the road in no time. Well, that worked out as expected. I feel like I'm really identifying the parameters of how it works to deal with my vapor lock issue. I kind of pushed it a little bit and started it up within minutes of having to pull over, and I kind of cranked on it a little more than I'm generally comfortable doing, but got a pretty good idea of what it all feels like when it's fully ready to go and when I'm kind of pushing it. So a little further down the road. Well, you had to know that the clean interior was never going to last. Heading out to my father-in-law's shop to get a little work done on one of the other two vehicles in my fleet. And this is what happens when I come out here. Well, that's about it. Remember to like, subscribe, spread the good word about the eternal salvation that I offer for only $59.95. No.